Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Now and Then Some podcast with Robin and Kaylee. I'm your host, Robin.
And I'm your other host, Kaylee.
And here we talk about everything from now and then.
And then some.
That's right. And I hear we got a lot to talk about this week, Kale.
I've got a lot to talk about because my cousin's wedding happened.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to Michaela and Mitch.
Congrats to y'all.
Y'all crushed it. It was just an amazing it was just a beautiful wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to talk about this for a while, but
Okay.
I'll talk about the venue for a second because like I had talked about, the ceremony was in this really like the OG Catholic Church of Texas.
Yeah.
Beautiful tall ceilings, So that's beautiful in itself. And then the venue is out in the middle of nowhere, about 15 minutes outside of Fredericksburg. We all get to stay in the cabins. Like all of our family takes over the cabins. There's cows, there's goats, there's deer roaming around, come up to your cabin. You can feed them out of your hand.
Wow.
And like big bucks and stuff. Like it was just a beautiful, wild
You're like Sleeping
venue.
Beauty in the
It was just
forest.
You woke up, we woke up in the mornings, sat on our little patio with our wooden rocking chairs and like watched the animals graze around us while we're drinking our coffee. And it was beautiful. And the weather was absolutely perfect. Like definitely a little warm in the middle of the day, but not like miserably hot.
Yeah.
So that all worked out beautifully. It was just a really stunning wedding and a really fun wedding at that. But let me start from the beginning.
Okay.
So Thursday, not everyone gets into town. My Michigan family didn't get into like 4 a.m. on Thursday because their flight got delayed.
Bummer.
Poor things. But everyone else kind of started getting in on Thursday. And we were like, okay, well, this is like the one night where we can go into Fredericksburg because Friday's rehearsal stuff and Saturday's actual wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So we decide we're going to go into town, get dinner. I'm like, we're going to the freaking karaoke bar. We're going to the Velvet Lounge, whether y'all like it or not,
Obviously.
because I'm on a karaoke kick. And so it ends up being literally just me, sis, mom and dad, and Matt and my cousin Maddie. So the bride's younger sister, her boyfriend, Zach, who's from the UK. He had 3 of his friends fly in for the wedding.
Oh, wow.
They've come down before and met Uncle Robbie and like that whole family.
Mhm.
So they know the family.
Right.
And so they had a couple extra spots. So they were like, hey, if y'all can come. And so Zach was like, y'all fly in. So 3 of his friends flew in.
Fun.
They were staying for the whole week though. So they were going to do some other stuff after the wedding. And so it was Zach and his 3 friends. And then that was it. That was the group that went out.
Nice.
Oh, and Sis's boyfriend, Jacob, too. So we had like a nice little crew going, but like not everyone was with us. So it was
Mhm.
still manageable. So we end up going to the Velvet Lounge to do karaoke. And no one is real excited to do karaoke except for me.
They're never excited until it starts going.
I'm like, guys, come on. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
So we did sing karaoke. We sang, oh God. So we did Goodbye Earl again because it slaps every time and I could just sing that every day and be perfectly.
For sure.
So me, Sis, and Mads went up there and crushed Goodbye Earl. We also went up there and sang Any Man of Mine by Shania Twain.
That is also a good one.
It's a great one.
Any Shania where people can like sing along with
Yes.
you is just going to be a crowd pleaser.
Yes. And then I really wanted to sing a duet and I'm trying to convince these boys that someone needs to sing a duet with me. But then we're struggling to find a song that we both know well enough.
Is that just it just happens, or do you think it has to do with the fact that they're British?
No, the fact that they're British.
Yeah.
And they're not like country boys.
Yeah, they're not like, I don't know, Sheryl Crow and
Like,
Kid Rock.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
it's a lot easier when it's a country boy that knows country duets.
Yeah.
But one of them, so let me just give my little shout out to these boys. So Alex, Jordan, and Lloydie. His last name is Lloyd. I think his name's James Lloyd, and they call him Lloydie, but then my mom was calling him Loudy all night. So Loudy stuck for the weekend.
Got it.
So shout out. But Jordan actually is in a band.
Mm.
So he's the one that I was like, you're going to sing a duet with me, which I'm like, why would I put myself in this position to sing with someone who can actually sing?
Mm.
But I felt like good stage presence up there
Yeah.
with me would be good.
Yeah, definitely. You can
And
like
he was
feed
like,
off of that.
he was the only one that was even willing to consider going up there with me. So we're trying to figure out a song. And then I'm like, what about Islands in the Stream? And he's like, I know the song, but like, I don't know if I know it well enough. So then he like goes over in the corner and he's got his phone in his ear trying to listen to it to like see if he feels comfortable. And he comes back and he's like, I'll do it with you. And I was like, ah!
Yay.
So I go up, I sign us up, we get up there. We crushed it.
Obviously.
We absolutely crushed it. And I just love that song.
Mhm.
So I was happy camper. So
Mhm.
we got to sing a lot of karaoke. My dad was just ready to party. So my dad wants to buy, I was like, first round, I'm buying a round of shots. Like, you know me.
Mhm.
Again, we've talked about this multiple
Yeah.
times. So I'm like, okay, lemon drops for everyone. That's a safe choice. Because remember, this is the place where I got the pickle shots that were so bad last time.
Yeah, you don't
So
wanna
that
risk
wasn't
that
even
again.
on the menu.
No.
So I was like, lemon drops are safe. So round of lemon drops. Well, then dad, little time goes by and he's like, I'm ready to buy the next shot. And I'm like, okay, what are you thinking? And he's like, peanut butter. My dad, love him. He likes peanut butter whiskey.
I've tried it. I don't love whiskey,
Me
but
neither.
I love peanut butter. If it's chilled.
It was chilled,
Yeah.
thank God.
Yeah.
But also, Robin, there's shots there. I told you, like, they're huge. Like,
Right.
it's not just a shot. It's like half a drink that you
It's
just
like a
gotta-
martini.
So my dad orders the peanut butter whiskey, and I look around at the crew, and everyone is like, oh. And so we take it, and it's just huge, and we do it, and dad is like, oh, that was delicious.
You're like, here, drink mine.
And some of us are like, okay. And I told him, I was like, if that would have been warm, I would have lost it right there.
Yeah, there's no.
Like, I don't really like it. It's too sweet, I think, for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
But so then a little time goes by and dad's like, another round of shots. I'm like, this is where I get it from. It all tracks. And then he's like, what should we get? And I was like, oh, let's switch it up. Let's go white tea. Like, everyone loves a white tea.
Yeah.
And so we got the white tea shot. That was definitely the best one that we took.
Mhm.
But everyone was like, another shot. I'm like, y'all are out with the McKees.
Hello.
Like, it's literally the McKee family and this crew that we
Yeah.
brought, you know?
Fun.
So then we took a third shot. So everyone was feeling real nice on
Yeah.
Thursday night. By the time we got back to the cabins, everyone went straight to bed. We were all just like, okay, we're drunk and we're going to get into bed. But it was
The best.
such a fun night. And then Friday, the Michigan fam got in, and I just love them so much. So
Mhm.
I was so excited to see them. And we didn't have rehearsal until later in the day. So we went into town, kind of bebopped around, hopped in a saloon, had a few drinks, but not a lot because we had to go rehearse at the church. And I
Sure.
was like, I can't be walking in this church feeling too good.
Right.
Because
Jesus is
and
watching.
yeah, right.
It's Jesus.
He's right there looking at me. But Michaela, the bride, my cousin, she went out with us too during the day. And so we went in the saloon and I got her a margarita. It pretty much wasn't up for discussion. I was like, I could feel her stress. And I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah. Calm you
And-
down a little bit. Calm the nerves.
Yeah. And here's the thing. She had even more stress on her because it's not just like you show up at the wedding. Like she has to like be around everyone that's coming to the wedding in these cabins. Like
Mhm.
we're all in the vicinity constantly. So she's constantly having to like schmooze and hug and introduce and you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I could feel her. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get you a margarita. So I
Yeah.
got her a margarita. They were strong. They were great. And she was like, oh, I feel so much better. I was like, yes, success.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah. So she had one margarita and she felt a lot better.
Good.
So then we did the rehearsal, had a yummy Italian dinner for rehearsal
Yeah.
dinner. And then it was my time to show up. And Robin, I would like to thank you, first of all, for telling me to treat it like a job, because that's what I did.
Yeah.
So I had to do hair and makeup for everyone on Saturday. So Friday night, I went to bed at 10:30.
Yeah.
Like people were staying up hanging and I was like, release your FOMO out of your body.
Yes. Be gone.
Be gone. And Kelsey had told me, she was like, Kaylee, you have to understand that you have to get in bed. Like I am dragging you into bed. And I was
Yeah.
like, we had put a limit of 11 on our
Mm-hmm.
11. You have to be in bed at 11.
Yeah.
We stuck to it. We went to bed early. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Because woke up the next morning. Everyone had to be there at 7. They were not happy with me, but I was like, it is what it is. And me and Sis got there a little early, like 6:45 to set up everything in the
So
bridal
early.
suite. So we had like all my bobby pins and clips and makeup and everything set up. And I was like, okay, the second these girls get in here, someone's getting in this chair and we're going. And I had kind of timed it out, like how much time I could spend on everyone when I had to be done with hair and start makeup.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to do bride hair last, but bride makeup first, just in case I am rushing at the end. I'm not rushing on
Makeup.
Yeah, on Michaela's makeup.
For sure.
So 7 hits and I got someone in the chair. And me and Sis, shout out to Sis because
Shout out, sis.
she really was the best assistant I could have asked for because she was cranking out curls and I was cranking out styling and cranking out curls and cranking out styling. And then my Aunt Evelyn was in there and my bride's mom. And I love her because she is like, I call her our biggest hype woman because she just like is constantly telling you like how pretty you are and how amazing you are and how much this means. And like, she just like makes you feel good all the time. And she's just like, oh my God, this is so nice. And I'm like, inside stressing and dying a little bit, but I'm like, yes, it's so nice, isn't it, Aunt Evelyn? Like I can like trying to keep like this face when I'm thinking in my head, I gotta move.
Yeah.
So then they bring in breakfast for us and they bring in these yummy croissant sandwiches. Well, I don't have time like to even stop to eat.
Yeah.
And so I just set my box down and I keep going. And my Aunt Evelyn, a little while later, she's like, did you eat? And I was like, it's sitting right there. I was like, I don't have time, to be honest with you. And she's like, okay, I'm going to feed you. So literally my Aunt Evelyn is giving me a bite and I'm like styling or curling. And I reach over.
That's love.
Yes, it was. It was so funny. She was like, someone video this. I mean, literally she was feeding me so that I had something in my stomach.
Yeah. We don't need you dropping like
that's right.
at the altar.
Yeah. In the church, it's a longer ceremony, you know, like I can't be dropping in the church, you know? So she was feeding me. That was funny. So I cranked out everyone and I had told myself, Kaylee, you may not be in some of these pictures because you don't need to worry about yourself. You can do yourself last after everyone else is beautiful and lovely and feels good. So we're cranking. Here's where it starts getting interesting. My Aunt Ev is like letting people in the bridal suite, like other little cousins and other aunts on the other side. And like, I know all of them, but they're not like necessarily like a part of the wedding party. But they would come in and hang out and whatever. And then some of them would be like, do you think you could curl my hair? And I was like, go to sis. Like, I can't style anyone else. Like that. I kind of had to, I can't style anyone else, but if sis is done curling, she can curl your hair because she's chilling at this point.
Right.
So sis would curl a couple extra people. Then she had a couple extra people that wanted fake eyelashes. So we talked about this. I did fake eyelashes on every single person.
Jeez, that's so stressful.
But I crushed it. I was like a machine. I had my little tweezers. It was like quick. So my Aunt Evelyn's like, could you do fake eyelashes on Anna, which is like another little cousin? I was like, sure, Anna, sit in this chair. And I'm like, quick, get out. I got to go to the next person, you know? So we had a couple extra people come in where I was like starting to get a little stressed. But when I finished with everyone, there were 15 minutes left to spare before the photographer showed up for myself.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, that's a stretch for me to like get full glam in 15, to be honest with you, but it's doable. So I had already curled my hair earlier that morning. So I'm in the chair doing my makeup in the mirror and I have sis behind me and I was like, sis, just do a twisty, like don't do anything crazy. And she just did like a quick little twist half up and pinned me in. And then I'm like rushing and the photographer, I can like, she gets there and she's looking at me and I'm like, so I get it done. We go take pictures. Everyone's done.
Nice.
Everyone felt pretty. Everyone loved it.
They looked gorgeous.
Thank you. Robin's going to put some pictures up.
Yes.
I think I did a really good job.
You did wonderful.
I was proud of myself. I took your advice on treating it like a job. Like it's tough because you know me.
You want to
I want to like pick the vibes up, which I'm going to say this because I probably said it 45 times throughout the weekend. Pick the vibes up. Anytime I felt anyone at any point, pick the vibes up. Pick the vibes up. Pick up the vibes.
Can't let them dip.
No. And then everyone's like, when the podcast came up and they're like, is the name of it Pick the Vibes Up? Because I said it so much and I was like, sure, it really could be another name for this podcast.
Sometimes we struggle picking a title. So I love that. Done.
So next segment that it fits, it's Pick the Vibes Up or Pick Up the Vibes.
Yeah. I like Pick the Vibes Up because it's like you dropped them.
Pick them up. Yeah.
Hey, pick them up.
Yeah, exactly. So that was hard for me in the bridal suite because usually I'm trying to, but I had to just zone in.
Yeah.
So they also wanted me to be in charge of music. And they're like, Kaylee, you're so good at this because I did it at the bachelorette party. I was like, okay. So I'd already built a playlist going in. I put on the playlist. And then at that point, I completely just zoned into my job. And I had to let everyone else pick their own vibes up. And, you know.
You are in charge of your own vibes.
Yes. So it was just, we got it done. Everyone felt good. I felt really good. The bride was really happy. She looked so pretty. Yeah. She did a first look with the bridesmaids and
those pictures are so cute.
She just comes out and it's this dress with like long sleeve lace and she just looks so pretty. Like she's just naturally so pretty. And then, you know, you just add like a little bit of glam and she just looks so stunning. And the veil, the veil I cry every time. If someone puts a veil on, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. She looked beautiful. And so the ceremony was good. I didn't trip down the aisle. I will tell you, did not get the dress hemmed.
Ooh.
And okay, let me just be honest for a second. I've been in a lot of weddings.
Yeah.
I wear this dress one time. Do I really want to go pay to get it hemmed? Do I really care that much?
Nope.
Sorry.
Nope.
So I didn't get it hemmed. I don't think I've ever gotten a dress hemmed, and
Me
I've been
neither.
in 9 weddings at this
Yeah.
point. So it was long. This one was extremely long. So they're doing the kick out. I had to practice the kick out, where you kick out a little bit. It was really cool because the groomsmen, they're all in the Navy because Mitch is a Navy pilot. And so they were all in their whites. So it just looked,
with y'all's like blue.
blue.
Ooh,
Robin is
crisp.
crisp and beautiful. Like they're all in their very fancy whites.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. Beautiful ceremony, beautiful wedding, walking down the aisle. I didn't trip. No one tripped.
Woo.
Woohoo. It was funny because on the way out, Mitch went to dip Michaela like halfway down the aisle for another like little photo op. And he almost dropped her. They almost tripped.
Oh my God.
Everyone was looking at them and he was like, okay, never mind. And then they just kept walking. It was so funny.
That's perfect.
But then they did this thing, which I had never seen before. The sword ceremony. Have you ever seen it?
Never seen it done.
So all his groomsmen and a couple others that like weren't in the wedding, but they were in their whites. They did the sword ceremony outside the church and they lined up like 2, 2, 2, 2, and they had their swords.
And then they walk under it.
So then Michaela and Mitch came out of the church and they go up to the first. So it's like a bridge of swords, right?
Yeah.
They go up to the first one and it says, the Navy commands you, if you want to pass, now I'm butchering it because I can't remember the exact phrase. If you want to pass, you must kiss the bride.
Aww.
And then they kiss and then they let the swords down. And then they go to the next one. If you want to pass, and it's all serious. Like,
that's so cute.
It's so cute. And so they had to do it like 4 times. And at the end, they said something funny. You have to kiss the bride. And then he says, the best man goes, welcome to the Navy, ma'am.
Aww.
And that's how it ends. It was so cute. I had
That's
never
adorable.
seen it before. So did the little sword ceremony, went back to the venue, had like a few moments. I touched everyone up so we could take more pictures with like the whole wedding party. And then it was party down time.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. They had Chewy's for dinner.
Yum.
The crack dip. You know the crack dip. It was...
That is a move that I really respect.
No, it was delicious.
That's great.
Who doesn't love tacos?
I want that right now.
Who doesn't love fajitas?
Yeah.
Like, come on. And like, well, true. Robin.
I like actively hate
Robin
fajitas.
One time, y'all.
I like hate fajitas.
I say one time on my birthday, got mad.
I was like, can you not
order sizzling fajitas? I'm like, no, I'm going to order.
I can't stand it because it's the onion and then it's like the smoke of the onion in my face and it's just so unpleasant.
You would have been fine at this wedding because they had the onion and the pepper separate.
Oh, good.
So they had the chicken, the beef, and the onion and the pepper separate.
Okay, good.
So you would have been fine.
I also don't, the fact that it's separate's fine. When it's all together, I can't eat any of the components. So
she ain't touching an onion if her life depends on it.
Nope.
Yeah. So yummy dinner. I got another funny thing at the reception. So I had met Donna, the wedding coordinator lady, when I did the venue walkthrough with them. So she knew me. And so we ate first at the head table. And then, there's a lot of people. It was like a lot of people at this wedding. So the dinner was taking a while to get everyone through, which is normal. But they wanted to take sunset pictures. And so that was at like 7:15 was supposed to be sunset pictures. So Donna comes up to me and my Aunt Evelyn's at the head table at this time and Michaela, the bride. And she's like, hey, so we're going to do, and at this point it might be like 6:40, I'm thinking. She's like, hey, we're going to do sunset pictures at 7:15. Then we'll do the speeches. Then we'll start the party. And I'm thinking, no, that's a long time to make everyone sit here. Because we've already, the head table at least had been sitting there for a while after
That's
eating.
like a solid 35
I'm like,
minutes later.
Everyone's ready to start dancing. So she kind of walks off and I turn to Aunt Evelyn and I go, I said, do you mind if I tell her that we should do this instead? And Aunt Evelyn's like, tell her. And I turn to Michaela and I'm like, McKay, are you good with me? And she goes, yeah, that sounds a lot better. I was like, Donna, honey.
Excuse me?
Donna.
I have notes.
Yeah. I go, okay, Donna. So I'm kind of thinking this would be better. How about we go ahead and do the speeches? And she's like, well, not everyone has eaten. And I said, it doesn't matter. They can eat and listen. Like they don't have to do anything. Like it's kind of entertainment while they're eating.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't we just go ahead and knock out the speeches? That way it's speeches, sunset pictures, and let's party.
Yeah.
And she's like, are you okay with that? And she looks at Michaela and Michaela's like, And Mitch just turns.
Aw.
I was like, I got it.
Save the day.
Yeah. So then because I told Donna this, Donna thinks that I'm like the go-to the rest of the wedding.
Of course.
So she came up to me for like several things after that. And I was like, oh, this is what I would do, or da-da-da-da, But it was funny because I was like, we're not going to sit around for another 45 minutes.
Because it's not just the wait for the pictures to start. It's then the taking of the pictures.
Right. It's the pictures.
Yeah.
Then it's the speech. It's like, why wouldn't we knock out one of those steps so that we can start partying?
Yeah, the one you can control.
Yes. So we got that done.
Nice.
We danced. I had helped with the set list for the DJ because he had asked to like put together a playlist of songs you want and kind of the vibes. Michaela was like, help me. And I was like, gladly.
Yes.
Because a DJ can make or break a wedding.
For sure.
And I feel very strongly about that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'll make a playlist.
Yeah.
So he played my playlist. Probably 90% of the songs that were played were from my playlist, which I was not mad about.
I think you missed your calling in wedding planning and coordinating.
No, literally. Because I had a little hand in a lot of little things. And so great playlist. Everyone was dancing all night.
Love it.
Lots of line dances, which was funny, trying to teach people, always a good time. Also, everyone does things a little differently, like Footloose, for example. I was like, no. Molly is Mitch's little sister. She was a bridesmaid, and she was doing something completely different than what I do. And I was like, no, I can't look at you because messing up. I know Footloose, but wait, I'm trying to follow you because I was like, oh, well, I'll just do what Molly's doing and everyone can follow. And then I was like, I can't do what Molly's doing because it's different than what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I'm just going to do my own thing. And then Maddie's like, yeah, I'm going to do what you're doing because that's what I know.
Yeah.
But they're from Colorado.
Interesting.
So I don't know if they like learned it differently or and she lives in Arizona now. She's
sense.
a flight instructor. So like they may do it differently there.
Regional dances.
Yeah, regional dances. So
it's a thing.
It was so good. There's a couple things that I want to call out. I could talk about this wedding weekend forever, but I want to call out that I'm very appreciative of my Uncle Robbie who gave me and Sis a shout out in his speech at the reception.
Oh, that's
saying
nice.
like that we helped with a lot of things behind the scenes, and that made me feel good because I did help with a lot of things behind the scenes, and I was happy to do it. But it was nice that he called us out. I wasn't ready for it. I heard him say Kaylee and Kelsey, and I was like, "What?
You're like, what am I supposed to be doing?"
Yeah. And then I want to shout out Mads. She was very nervous about her maid of honor speech, and she crushed. It was very cute. Oh, what did she say? Oh, I can't remember the line, but she said this one line, and we all went, oh, and it was like instant tears.
I love that.
It was so sweet. So she crushed it as well. Shout out to Zach and all the Brits. They were so fun, like dancing the whole time.
I can only imagine because I've definitely hung out with Zach and partied at your birthday party, and it was very fun. So I imagine his friend group is just
imagine him with his 3 best friends that he's been best friends with forever, and they're just like so happy to be there and like so happy to party with everyone. It was just good vibes all around. Like really one of the most fun weddings I've been to. I've been to a lot of fun weddings, and this was up there for sure. But it also helps that I just have just the best family.
Yeah, you do.
You've met a lot of them. I have just the best family. So I'm blessed in that way.
You sure are.
So we had a really, really, really great time, and sad that it's over. I'm happy as far as like the stressful parts of it go. That went well, but I was looking forward to that for a really long time, but it was just exceeded expectations. It was just really great wedding weekend, really great hanging out with everyone. I did not want to leave on Sunday.
Yeah.
A couple of them were like staying an extra day, just like help clean up everything. And I was like, why didn't I stay?
Yeah.
But it was just a really great time. So.
Love that.
Oh, and the Brits, they wanted a shout out. So I'm sure y'all are still listening. You got your shout out, and they said they'd buy merch. They said as soon as you shout us out. So Alex, Jordan, and Loudy/Lloydie buy some merch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah. So
cool.
Good time. Okay. So what'd you do?
I watched a lot of football. I went to the Colemans on Saturday for the Red River rivalry. We don't call it the shootout anymore, but we still call it that.
Yep.
So Texas OU, shout out Betty. So we watched just the best game. It was post Foster their son's baseball tournament. They won all the things, and it was great. So it was very celebratory mood. So a lot of them came back to the house.
Yeah.
And just really good people. It's so interesting because, obviously the wives kind of grouped together and the guys grouped together, but we're all watching the game, and Longhorns just absolutely demolished the Sooners.
I saw that.
And then at one point, the 4 of us women went over and we started playing this card game that they taught me. And I was just telling Betty the next day because she came over and helped me with something that I'm going to talk about in a minute. And it was just so fun to get to see, you know, she spends a lot of time with them.
Right.
And we spend a decent amount of time together. And I've known her a long time. And just good vibes of like, they have their own stories with them. And we have a different lens. And us just all melding together and really getting along with each other.
Right.
And it was just, the vibes were high.
I love that.
Yeah. Nobody needed to pick up any vibes.
Love it. That's the best.
And we ended up staying pretty late. Finally, we were like, we got to go.
Yeah.
Kids need to go to sleep. So, I mean, we probably got home like 10 o'clock, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day we hosted for Red Zone.
Yeah.
Which was fun. Everybody got to see the new couch. My couch is not brown.
Okay. You said that. And I thought, maybe I have a different color wheel in my brain than Robin does, because you said brown couch last episode. And I'm thinking, I swear I just was on that couch and it wasn't brown.
I said this about our old couch too. There's something about a certain color of gray that just looks brownish to me. And if it's not a specific color of gray, once it gets like a certain darkness of gray, I think it turns into like a muted brown to me. But someone said that at Red Zone, and I looked at our floors that are dark brown, and then I looked at the couch and I was like, damn, y'all are right. It's just like once I make my mind up that a couch, because it was at my in-laws' house.
Right.
With a different floor.
Right.
And so I just always saw brown couch. But then once it was against our floors, I was like, that is not brown.
Right.
It's just not brown.
No, it's not brown.
It's gray.
And I had this thought and I was like, I'm not going to argue with her. She's so excited about this new couch. But I was thinking in my head,
no,
it's not brown.
It's definitely gray.
It's definitely gray.
But it's not like a cool gray. It's more of a warm gray.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So that to me was brown in my brain. But I don't have a brown couch. Yay!
Did they love the couch?
They loved the
Everyone
couch.
was lounging on the
yes,
couch?
It was great. Everybody loved like when you go all the way back, and you did the same thing where like you have to like catch yourself.
Like
and
you feel like you're about to go full horizontal.
Yeah. Everybody had that moment who tried it out. Betty brought over her Cricut. Shout out, Betty.
Oh, like the crafty thing?
Yes. Because I was executing on my very epic Taylor Swift
We must talk about this, y'all.
Trunk or treat. So
she crushed this.
It was amazing. I will share pictures here, but I've been planning this thing for a while. We had it at our work, and I volunteered to be one of the trunk or treat hosts. If you don't know what that is, it's basically was started by churches for Halloween. They don't want their kids roaming the neighborhood, and who knows what they're going to encounter out there in the wild going up to people's houses.
I mean, we live in a scary world nowadays, so can't blame these people.
They tended to host it in church parking lots, and the kids go from trunk to trunk and get, different themes, different little treats and whatever. So I said, what is my theme going to be? Yeah, I didn't have to think very long. It was very easy. There was a lot of inspiration on the internet, but I kind of took it a different route where most
you had
examples.
You had like multiple vibes going on.
Yes, little vignettes of like, okay, whatever this vibe is, like it has to all be that one thing.
Right.
Whereas pretty much everything that I saw online, they were incredible, but they were all just like eras. So it was just like a mix up.
Yeah.
And so the front ended up being, which is
I feel like
the
it
trunk.
can either go like you go one theme the whole way, or if you do like the eras, it almost is like too much and too chaotic. You did a perfect amount of the middle of like not just one thing, but not chaos.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had a lot of ideas, a lot of inspiration. And so the front ended up being more around Look What You Made Me Do, which I guess was just me putting out the vibes of let's get Rep Taylor's version.
We need Reputation Taylor's version.
So I did have to listen to it once just to make sure I got the lyrics right for the skeleton thing. And I was like, I feel really bad listening to the non-Taylor's version.
Well,
but she hasn't given us a Taylor's version.
I don't feel bad because she hasn't given us one. I love that album. So I mean
like,
we're playing the bangers.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
It's in my maybe top 4. So it said, Look What You Made Me Do on these big red lips that I got. It was a pool float. And so that's what Betty helped me with. And they were like stickers. So that looked awesome. And I put that at the top. And then all these, it looks like she had murdered someone basically. And then there was the skeleton that said, the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Oh, because she's dead. And she had, which kind of switching it up a little bit, but she had a lot going on at the moment, shirt on. I say she.
this she skeleton.
So it was a 22 reference, but just a little niche one. And so we added not a lot going on at the moment.
Yes.
Which was great. And then I gave out little snake toys for rep, and there was skeleton
She gave out
heads
little
and
friendship bracelets.
The friendship bracelets went very quickly.
Yeah.
But I got Halloween themed friendship bracelets. I got like 75 of them. And I ran out maybe 45 minutes into the event because these little girlies were coming by like, ah! And I wasn't going to be like, just pick one.
No, everyone was obsessed with, I was out there with her.
Yeah.
They were obsessed with Robin's trunk.
It was so fun.
Your setup was amazing.
It was a lot though. Like I spent a lot of time planning.
You did.
And so I want to shout out Kaylee and Hannah because they helped me set it up in the moment. And I like, y'all were like, you have enough time. I was like, y'all don't understand. There's so many pieces.
It was a lot. I really think if you didn't have us.
Oh, I would have been screwed.
Yeah.
I had so many pieces to it. So then around the corner, so that's all in one. If you're aiming this way, that's all you see is just that same vibe of like, I had bloody stickers and handprints everywhere. And it's like, look what you made me do, you know? Then around the corner, it was in my spooky era. So this backdrop with all the different colors and records hanging up, and then the friendship bracelet looking sign. Mm-hmm. So people were loving going around and taking pictures there.
Perfect photo op.
Mm-hmm. And then kind of in front of that, in the empty space next to my Bronco, Nate's idea.
Oh, this is genius. Shout out Nate for this.
Shout out Nate. Not that he listens. Love you. So I knew that I wanted to do some sort of game in this empty spot, and I didn't want to have to set it up over and over.
Right.
I didn't want to have to say, okay, who's next? Okay, you versus you. You're the winner. Here's your prize or whatever. Or explain
you wanted people
it
to be able to do a drive-by play and leave on their own and play on their own.
So I was kind of throwing around some ideas, me and my executive assistant, ChatGPT. Couldn't really, like, none of them were popping off the pages. And so I was running this by Nate, and he's like, oh, one of them, I'm like, invisible string, invisible ring. Like, is it a ring toss game? Because that's a Taylor Swift song. And he's like, yeah, invisible ring or invisible string. You do the ring on the hook game. Like, you just walk up.
Y'all.
Mm-hmm. And so we have a tent canopy thing. Took that off, and I made the cover out of the spider webs.
Yep.
And then he rigged it up to where it was on a fishing line, so the ring was invisible. And he rigged up the hooks across the legs of the tent, and people loved it. And we had 2 going, so 2 people could play at the same time.
Genius.
It was a hit.
It was.
It was so fun. And so people voted with their little coins.
And guess who won?
Yeah, girl.
Duh.
So yes, thank you everyone who helped me make that dream come true.
It was awesome.
And someone who came by was like, oh my God, my friend's doing one of these at her church parking lot
the
Robin,
following
you didn't
talk
weekend.
About your outfit.
Oh my God, the best part. Buried the lead. So I was looking for cat inflatables because I just thought Karma is a cat and the black cat of it all. So I'm looking at black cat inflatables, black cat Halloween decorations, and I find this costume that's one of those wearable ones. And yeah, here's a picture. And it's a black cat, and it looks like you're riding the black cat.
It's amazing.
So I made this giant, blinged out collar and big nameplate for it that said Karma. And so people would be like, oh my God, a cat. And I'd kind of raise it up so they could see it. I'd be like, Karma is a cat. And so me and Karma vibe like that. But I was saying, me and Karma ride like that. People loved it. So this chick is FaceTiming her best friend. Yep. And I'm like, do you want to borrow it?
Yeah, Robin, you're so nice.
It was
friendly.
only $20 on Amazon.
Nice of you to offer it up like that.
Yeah. I was like, where do you live? Oh my God, we're right down the road from each other. So she came by and actually left me this coffee, and she took the costume, and I put the skeleton and the chair, and then I just threw some other random stuff in there in case she wants to use it. I'm like, of course, spread the love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More Taylor spooky era out
That's
there,
right.
the better.
Uh-huh.
So good job.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. Okay, do we have anything else? Or are we ready to get into all the things?
Let's get into all the things.
Okay, so we're rolling right into the now.
Let's do it.
Can you hand me what I sent you?
Yes.
Because our first update is the synopsis for the Haymitch Hunger Games book, Sunrise at the Reaping, came out. They released the cover of the book, which we'll put up as a picture, and then they released the synopsis.
Oh my gosh.
So let me just read this for y'all because I'm like injected into my veins. Okay.
That was one of the notes that I had
God.
randomly made when I was editing last week's episode.
What?
You say that a lot.
I do say
that should be your saying on a shirt.
We did have this question before I read the synopsis. We did have this question come up the other day with our coworkers. Like, what if you had to put like the phrase that you say all the time? What would it be like on a shirt?
Yeah.
And you said totally would be mine, I think was one of the ones you gave me. What did I say for you? Of it all?
Yes.
because you say of it all a lot.
Yeah.
Then I came back later and I was like, mine would probably just be y'all.
Yeah.
Because I say y'all so much.
Yeah.
But maybe it would be inject this into my veins.
Into my veins.
It's very true. Okay, going on. As the day dawns on the 50th annual Hunger Games, fear grips the districts of Panem. This year, in honor of the Quarter Quell, twice as many tributes will be taken from their homes. Back in District 12, Hamish Abernathy is trying not to think too hard about his chances. All he cares about is making it through the day and being with the girl he loves. When Hamish's name is called, he can feel all his dreams break. He's torn from his family and his love, shuttled to the capital with the 3 other District 12 tributes, a young friend who's nearly a sister to him, a compulsive odds maker, and the most stuck-up girl in town. As the games begin, Hamish understands he's been set up to fail, but there's something in him that wants to fight and have that fight reverberate far beyond the deadly arena.
Wow.
Oh, I got chills. I got chills.
Who's going to play him in the movie?
They have not said. They have not said.
So wait, this is the book synopsis.
That's the book synopsis.
But they're obviously going to make a movie.
So the book comes out on March 18th. Yeah, like we get to read this on March 18th, which is not that far away. So heck yes.
Love it.
And then the movie will come out the following year, 2026. So we get the next year will be book time. And then 2026, we get the movie.
Amazing.
But I really need to know who they're going to cast.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just going to make such a freaking difference on who they cast.
Exciting.
Yeah. So I needed to talk about that because it popped up and I was like, I love the Hunger Games. Love, love, love.
Yes. Cannot wait. In other news, we have another date that's official, which is for Freakier Friday. It's also not that far off, but August 8th, 2025.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting.
It is. It seems far, but it's really not that far.
No, considering that they're filming right now, that's actually a pretty good date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid it might be 2026. So I'm excited that it's next year we get that.
Yeah. Amazing.
Another amazing, exciting news. So we've talked about Miss Peaches
on
this podcast multiple times. But she just got a little brother.
I know.
Pete the Beagle.
Pete.
They're already best friends.
They're so cute.
Like they're already cuddling and snuggling. They're already playing together every day. They're sharing toys. Like it is just
they're so cute.
So sweet. So,
I was thinking about it when I was watching one of the videos where Dave was saying Pete and then Peachy. I'm like, it's
a lot.
Maybe it's a good thing that it's a similar name because he can just call for one of them. And but there's like they're gonna both just hear like that sound. Yeah. But he doesn't ever say Peaches. He says Peachy.
Yeah.
But it's still E-E. Pete, Peachy.
It's close.
Yeah. It's very close. But they're so
cute.
So cute. I don't know about a beagle because they do howl.
They howl a lot. They're so cute.
They're adorable.
I think they're like very cute dogs.
My parents used to have a neighbor. Luckily, it was after I moved out of the house and they moved houses. So, but their neighbor used to have a beagle and it would just be, if you left it in the backyard, it wouldn't just bark. It would,
yeah, it's a full house situation. So I don't think I personally would ever get a beagle.
Couldn't do it.
But I do think they're very, very cute.
Oh, they're so cute. So we were speculating if we think that Pete the Beagle is going to get his own Instagram or if we're just going to see him on @FamousMissPeaches. And I think he doesn't need his own Instagram.
I don't think he needs his
We don't need to diversify the audience. Let's bring them all to
everyone
now the
watch
Beagle lovers.
Miss Peaches and you get to see both cuties.
Exactly.
There.
Adorbs.
Okay, now we have to go to the
complete vibe switch.
I might cry.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much because it's so freaking sad.
It's so sad.
Former One Direction band member Liam Payne has tragically died. And it was
31 years old.
A shock to everyone. He was in Buenos Aires at a hotel there that had a balcony and unclear whether or not he fell accidentally or on purpose.
They still haven't come out and said.
Yep. And we know he'd been struggling ever since the band broke up.
Yep.
And his ex-girlfriend put out a book recently that had some pretty damning stories about their toxic relationship.
Right.
Which, he has to come to terms with that and had some struggles, I'm sure, with substance abuse. Not confirmed, but allegedly.
Yep.
And he has a young son.
It's very sad. And then some Snapchat stories have been released of like stuff that he was posting an hour before, 2 hours before, where he's just talking normal. There was this one, I was like, oh my God. He was with a fan. This fan was like, y'all saved my life. Like One Direction, like was was such like a big time in my life. And Liam's like, thank you, dude, so much. And he's like taking pictures with the fan. It's like right before.
Wow.
It's just, it's
I'd
sickening.
like to think it was an accident, even though that's not any better because he's still gone. But
yeah,
it's so sad.
Wild.
And TMZ freaking posting pictures of the body on the ground. Like, and then they're like, we're not going to post pictures, but you did.
You literally posted his body and like zoomed in of his tattoos. What is wrong with you?
To be
Why
like,
would you think
look,
that
this
that's
is
okay?
him. This is evidence that it's him, but we're not going to post the full pictures, just the zoomed in version. So you're posting that out there for one day his son to find online.
Right.
Like that's so
what is wrong with you? And how is that like legal?
It shouldn't be.
What, freedom of speech or something? But it's just like freedom of press?
I guess. But at that point, isn't it like a crime scene in some way?
That's what I'm saying. There has to be a line, and they're going past the line.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's really sad. All of the, former members have been posting their own tribute to him. I have chills. Harry's was,
I know. Niles was bad too because he just saw him at a show.
At a show, yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody was wondering why he was wilding out at Niles' show and just acting kind of erratic and stuff like that. So, it's very sad.
It's really sad. And I think the world is reeling from this because, I mean, they were like iconic and
they were
really touched a lot of people.
It was a very like iconic moment in our pop culture history and in our culture in general.
It's crazy that one of them is gone at 31.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm 30. That's just...
It's so sad. So sad.
So sad. So thoughts and prayers out for his family, his young son, everyone who's reeling from this because it's really, really sad.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay. So now we have to talk about
something else that's sad in a very different way.
Good Lord. Love is Blind.
Oh.
So we had 2 more episodes come out.
Yeah, let me just get my notes, even though I don't really need them because...
Yeah, I don't have notes because
Lord.
But I'll let you kick us off with where your notes start.
Okay. Fuck Ramses. Fuck Tim. Go fuck yourself, dude. What an absolute asshole.
Oh, okay. So we're starting off that way.
Yep.
The Tim thing was wild.
What?
It was like a complete 180 from like, it was out of nowhere. And again, I go back to, what are they not showing us? What is happening?
Just over and over. They just start in the middle of something.
They're starting every
or
episode
after something
in the middle of some weirdo conversation where we have no context. Producers, I'm putting that on y'all. Like,
it's bad.
Why is this happening? It's over and over again this season.
Bad. Like over and over again. Usually it's like 1 or 2 things where like, oh man, the cameras weren't there.
Right.
But it seems like they're able to pick up the cameras very quickly.
Yeah.
Either mid or immediately post whatever the thing was.
Right.
I cannot say this enough. Have them do confessionals. Have them do confessionals
like
where they sit and talk.
If you miss it,
yes.
right, because they're not going to be on camera 24/7.
Yes.
I get that. But you need to have some sort of context for the audience.
Why would you just go from having confessionals in the pods to not having them out in the real world when they're
going
in
down?
When they're in the pods or in the lounge or whatever, cameras are always there.
Right.
If anything, we need the confessionals flip-flopped if you can only afford the budget to do them in one or the other. Like,
it's so...
I don't understand that at all.
And that it has happened.
It's infuriating.
5 times this season where we are coming into a conversation with zero context.
Yep. It is infuriating.
But yeah, Tim, that was just wild.
I don't ever want to see you again.
Yeah. I was like, what happened that you feel this disgusted by her?
She took a nap.
Right. That's why I think there's more to the story that we're not getting.
And also, okay, you don't want that for your future wife. You said that very plainly.
Why do you have to be a dick and be like, I never want to see you again?
Exactly. I'm going to say no. You're not what I want in a future wife. You could just say, I thought that this is what I wanted, but there's certain qualities that you just don't have. And it's no hate, no shade to you. It's just, it's not a good fit for me long-term. And I really picture myself.
Right.
Like, I love you. I think you're great. You have great qualities, but it's just not how I envision my life going. And I hope you can understand. Boom.
Boom.
But you don't have to humiliate her by being even he really humiliated himself. But those are such harsh words.
I'm like, dude, and she's just trying to
so cold.
Eat her.
He's just trying to eat her
chicken.
fries.
She's like trying to eat her chicken, and he's just going in. I'm like,
I could tell she was just like,
take a chill pill, brother.
And he kept doing that thing where he's like, "Are you gonna let me talk?
Oh God,
are you gonna let me talk? If you hadn't have said, are you gonna let me talk? I would have been done with what I was saying, and you could be talking by now." So annoying.
That was just a bizarro conversation.
I don't even know
And
why
he
she
was-
even kept trying. I would have just been like, whatever, get the
Go.
fuck out of here.
I would have been
Ugh.
like, okay, fine. You never want to see me again. Please
Yeah.
go. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to listen to this anymore.
Yep. But yeah, Ramses, I'm getting red fliggity flags.
I already told Robin, I said, I'm out on Ramses.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm out.
It's like
After the military conversation, the birth control conversation.
he doesn't want to have babies. She was like, oh, maybe not 3 to 5, maybe more like 2 to 3 years.
Which is
normal.
A fair, normal thing because we all know that when you get into your upper 30s, there's a lot more risk involved. You can totally do it.
Totally.
People do it and bless them for doing it, but there's more risk involved.
And people can change their minds. They speak in kind of broad strokes. Yeah, 3 to 5 sounds good. Agree.
Right.
Then whenever you get closer to the marriage, you're like, ooh, actually, I'm starting to picture this now. And maybe more like 2 to 3.
And
well, that
picture
was
it with this person.
And that was a big thing for him. I'm sorry. You want to raw dog it, but you don't want to have kids. And then you're going to shame her for not wanting to be intimate with you when she's on her period.
I was
and then
to
you're
talk
gonna
about this.
Come up and wrap around her and get in her personal space when she said that it was too much stimulation and she like just kind of didn't want to be pet all the time. Like that is some predatorial behavior of like, if she doesn't want to sleep with you 1 week out of the month,
I want to talk about this.
You need to be okay with that.
I am disgusted that he's like, I'm just wondering if this is how it's going to be. Yes, when a woman's on her period and she's flipping miserable and hurting.
And she was sick and has a vitamin D deficiency and feels like shit.
You're going to make her feel bad for not wanting to sleep with you. She needs to be sleeping with you at all times. She needs to want to sleep with you.
That's between you and your hand, homie.
Yeah, bro, take care of yourself.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know why she...
Also, what's up with all these sex fiends on this season?
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, no, seriously, Robin, what's up with the sex fiends?
Yeah, it's a bit much.
That conversation, like not respecting when someone, let's take even the period out of it. Like when she's saying she doesn't feel well and you're not like respecting that.
Or like, hey,
like
what
you just
can I
expect
get you?
her to be like on your dick 24/7 whenever you want it.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Good luck finding that out there.
God, I hope they cannot get married.
No.
No, God, please.
Absolutely
Marissa,
not.
you can't do this to yourself.
Marissa, run, even though your dress is beautiful.
Oh, I mean, she's just the cutest.
The dresses were gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Best dresses so far.
I want to talk about that too because
Let's talk about it.
Dress shopping.
Let's talk about it because I don't feel like we need to go through like play by play of everything.
I want to talk about at some point
what we want to talk about.
I want to talk about Hannah and Nick at some point.
Okay.
Because I want to go.
Let's go, Hannah and Nick.
Okay. Ugh.
She's the worst.
I mean, she just
the worst.
So belittling to him. So belittling and demeaning. And I'm like, honey, who do you think you are that you can talk to people like this?
Just every chance she got to belittle him and to make him feel lesser than.
Yes.
And when he said, you make me feel like you're on a higher level than me or whatever. And she goes, you can be on my level whenever you contribute more. What? How does him sweeping the floor, because she does it daily. She's a psycho.
Like you're a psychopath that you have to vacuum every day.
So he will be as good as a human as you, good of a human as you, if he vacuums every day and walks your dog.
And what's up with her wanting him to take out her dog 24/7?
It's weird. Just because that's how you like to run your household doesn't make him a lesser person than you.
No, and you don't need to be constantly putting him down.
When she pulled out the notebook, I was like, run, Nick.
It's like, does he feel like that's the best he can get? Because it's not.
No.
Nick, you can get better than that. Like, you don't want to be with someone that makes you feel that way all the time.
And says, I made you a man out of the boy or whatever.
Oh, she said that multiple times.
He was like, I'm sorry, what? And she just twists the truth around. Katie's her best friend in the whole wide world.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all just met in the pods.
No, literally.
Give me a break. I loved how... Just watching Katie and Nick for 5 minutes, I was like, Nick, marry this woman.
Nick, you picked the wrong one.
She was like, I think you're wonderful.
I know, they had the great back and forth, and she seemed like a good person.
That she would uplift him, inspire him to be a better man, not freaking bash him over and over.
Him.
Yeah, into submission.
She's like verbally beating him constantly.
And I'm sure she thinks, oh, edit, blah, blah, blah. No, you're the villain.
I've seen her do some podcasts and TikToks where she's really not taking responsibility for how she treated him, making light of it and a joke of it. And I'm like,
no, it's not
honey,
a joke.
You've got to take a look in the mirror.
She emasculated him every chance. And it's not even just emasculate, because that, of course, is going to apply to only men. She just
She belittles and
I would
demeans him.
never speak to someone like that
No.
in a million years, especially. And then on the other side, but I love you so much and I think you're amazing. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You do not want to be with this man. And he certainly should not be with you. Like, oh, Nick cannot win.
No, I want him far, far away from her as fast as possible. Okay. We roll on to dress shopping. So
I don't have any notes because it was just
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love watching people try on dresses and get all giddy and cry and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought it was just very sweet. And they all looked beautiful.
Taylor's dress. Woo!
She's just, love her. Love her.
I mean, just like the whoosh, whoosh, and the whoosh. Even though the first one had pockets, which we all loved. But yeah, it wasn't her. It was great. Can we talk about that for a second, though?
Yeah, we can.
Taylor and Garrett.
Yes. Okay. This was Garrett
Once
Bear.
again.
Garrett Bear, honey, what are we doing?
Bless him.
Why lie?
Why did you lie?
Why lie?
Why lie? So it picks up and she's like, I'm really like annoyed that your past girlfriend of 6 years messaged you, and we don't know if she found it, if he told her about it.
Again,
we don't know.
No freaking context.
And
just shows him out on the street arguing, and I'm
he's
like, what?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I handled it all wrong. I just liked it and moved on. Then later,
fast forward 15 minutes,
sitting in couples therapy with Ashley and Tyler, and brings it up again and says, "Yeah, I responded that I'm moving on. I've met someone. We're engaged, and I don't think we should talk anymore." That would have been a great thing to tell Taylor out on the street rather than I just liked it and moved on.
Care Bear.
Liking it and moving on is way worse.
No, his response was beautiful, but why didn't you say that from the get?
I think he's figuring it out.
He's figuring it out.
And they figured it out together. And
I still
lovely.
love him. I still love him.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, Care Bear, come on.
Yep.
Come on, buddy.
And then the cameras couldn't come to meet her family, but after
they
meeting
showed us
Garrett.
a quick little clippy.
Yeah. And then after meeting Garrett, the mom came around and we got to have dinner with the infamous Fong.
Mm-hmm.
She was great.
Yeah.
I loved her.
Yeah.
And she's beautiful, just like Taylor.
I love them.
Yeah.
So
they're the only ones for me.
I fully agree. They're the only ones that I'm holding out for. I really hope they work out, and I hope honestly no one else does. Okay.
Bodhi.
Oh yes. They definitely seemed a little bit
more flirty than just friends.
Yeah. Because they were like, she's like, oh, I don't regret my decision. We're just friends. But I was like, y'all's vibe is just so much better. Ramses just is a no from me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. He's just a big fat no.
Yeah.
And Bodhi just seems like a good guy.
He does.
So I'm hoping Marissa maybe gets out of this Ramses situation. Please, God, don't marry him. I might have
heard something bad about Bodhi, but I'm not finding it online.
Oh, I haven't seen anything.
Speaking of something bad, Golden Batch.
Something bad. Sorry.
Golden Batch. Another restraining order came out. Yeah.
Production, do better.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can say about that.
Yeah. Apparently Guy also had one against his wife of 36 years, and he had to come out and talk about it.
Casting, do better.
Yeah. So Bodhi is facing allegations of sexual assault from a terrified ex.
What?
He was accused of this on a Facebook group where women warn each other about DC men and their red flags.
No. Yep. Are there no good people that they can cast on these shows? I don't understand. There has to be good people that don't have these issues. How are y'all not thoroughly?
I'm not going to read that out loud, but.
Oh, no.
Yep.
What the heck? Casting. How are we not doing a thorough, you need to be interviewing their exes. Number one on the list. Interview their exes.
Do you remember that couple in last season's Love is Blind where he
Yes.
Yeah. Hello. This isn't a new problem. Figure it out.
Interview people's exes, families, friends, coworkers.
Comb the internet. Don't just do the regular old background check.
No, you need to comb the internet and interview everyone that has been significant in their lives, to be quite honest with you.
I know it's not easy. That is a hard job for production to cast these people and no.
Totally.
But try harder.
Y'all aren't doing enough.
Clearly. You're putting them in an unsafe environment. Not just unsafe with their emotions, right? That's a whole other thing that don't do that. But you're literally putting them in physical harm's way that could scar them for life. It just pisses me off so much. And
because
it
can be prevented.
Yeah.
It can easily be prevented.
Yeah. Anyway, It's almost over. I'm ready for the season to be over.
I'm going to be honest. This season is kind of towards the bottom for me of Love is Blind.
It's hard to root for anyone except for literally one couple.
I don't really like anyone else.
Mm-mm.
And it's just, here's my thing. It's like, why are we having all of these so inappropriate and uncomfortable conversations about sex?
Yeah.
Let me just say this. You meet someone, you have a conversation about sex. Like, you're going to have conversations about sex.
Yeah.
But like, why are all of them so weird and uncomfortable and like either like shitting on each other or like have really weird takes on birth control or condoms or like how much sex they should have? Like, where are the normal conversations about sex?
Or sitting down in front of the cameras and telling your friend about your partner's like lack of interest in doing a certain act on you.
Oh, Robin, I wanted to crawl in.
Just say it in so many words.
Crawl inside my body, like when she was saying that.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine to talk to your friends about that stuff, but maybe just be aware that there's cameras and like
there's just
insinuate it.
There's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Make it light.
It was a lot.
That was a lot. There's just been so many numerous conversations about sex that are just like, not normal. I'm like, this is not normal.
Which, we don't kink shame, but yikes.
No, I'm not even, the kinks is fine, but there's just a way to do it where it's not.
It just gives so icky.
So cringy and uncomfortable for the audience to watch.
It's like, icky.
That's not, this season, not my favorite, but Taylor and Garrett, let's get through this.
Please.
Hold on to each other.
Please.
Because you're our only hope.
That's right.
And the other ones better not even think about getting married.
No.
Please.
Nope. Okay.
Fantasy football?
Mm-hmm. All right. So I won.
Yay.
3 in a row.
Heck yeah.
Yep. So I had a couple bye weeks to deal with. So I picked up Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears.
Great pickup.
Yep. He got me 28.6 points.
Great pickup.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of my team did fine. Like CeeDee Lamb did fine. Kenneth Walker did fine. Houston D I picked up because I didn't want to play the 49ers D against Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
So I picked up Houston's D, 12 points.
H-Town, hold it down.
Mm-hmm. I definitely dropped Dicker the Kicker for Chris Boswell, 17 points.
Nice.
So, yes, I won. And, it was fine. I won by like 22 points, but I didn't blow it out of the water or anything. But, it's fine, though. I had a three-week winning streak.
Heck
if I lose this next week,
it's okay.
It's be all right.
So, what are you in your, what place are you in?
I am tied for first in my division.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of us overall that have a 4-2 record.
Great.
And then number 1 in the other division has a 5-1 record, and she's only one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I won.
Yay.
In both leagues.
Nice. That's the first time, right?
No, either the
Maybe
first or second week,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm doing this because I've really been sweating it with the running back situation of everyone being hurt.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the thing.
Nice.
It was got a little sweaty for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little nervy going into Monday because Joshy Poo played Monday night.
Yeah.
And
it's always scary.
Yeah. So in my friends league, I think it was like a 75% chance. So I wasn't really too worried there. I was like, I'll probably be fine as long as Josh doesn't suck. We'll be fine. And then, but in Dad's league, going into Monday was 50-50.
Ooh.
Josh Allen had to get me 35 points, which were higher scoring in my dad's league. So if he didn't get 35 points, I lost. That was the only player left on the board was just Joshy Poo, 35 points. And I'm just like, please God, whatever you do.
Yeah.
50-50 going into Monday.
That's so scary.
So
mine was like 70-30 going into Sunday afternoon, and then it just kept like getting more even.
Oh God.
And it was like 63, and then it was like 57.
Let me ask you this. Do you like compulsively like
yes
same,
and everybody's
same.
Like Prodigies blah blah blah. I'm like, yes, but we all are obsessed. We all are.
We all go check and check and check and check.
Yes
every 2 minutes, like something drastic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, so we won. We're rolling into next week. I'm very excited. 4-2. I'm third in both my leagues, which is a good spot to be in with the fact that I have McCaffrey and Pacheco in both leagues, and McCaffrey and Pacheco in Dad's league coming back in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So like I'm in a good spot. I'm feeling solid about
Hold.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting too excited because God knows anything can happen, but I'm feeling solid.
That's good.
Okay, so that's where I'm at.
So Betty, this was just a fun matchup. who was she playing against? Betty versus somebody. She had Bass, whoever, from Buffalo's kicker.
Bass.
And he needed, I just see all about that bass. She needed him to get like at least 4 points to even, she won. He got 4 points, 67.2 to 66.1.
Close.
Yes. So that was pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff. We'll see what happens next week.
That's right.
All right. To the wreck. To the one wreck.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My wreck.
Our wreck.
Our wreck.
Yes. I've been wanting to talk about this. I just keep forgetting about it because I binged it all literally the day it came out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I kind of held off for a little bit and then watched it over a few days. Nobody wants this.
Oh, it's so good.
Y'all, if y'all have not watched it, Netflix, change your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. And I'm not going to, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to go in detail. But all I want to say is being such an OC fan, like I'm such an OC fan, obsessed with the show. Me and my friends binged. Carly had it all 4 seasons on DVD, and we watched and we watched and we watched.
It was a moment.
Yeah, it was a moment. And especially for me and my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So watching Adam Brody pretty much just be a grown-up Seth Cohen.
Just be Seth Cohen.
He's literally Seth Cohen grown up. It is just the best.
It's the best.
The best feeling.
We've been sleeping on Adam Brody.
We have. And so this show is,
their chemistry is fantastic.
It's just so feel good, light.
Kristen Bell and her sister are podcast hosts, which is so cute. Yes. I loved their dynamic and that whole thing.
It's like good comedy in there.
Yes.
They're not trying too hard.
No, the writing was so great. Like it's exactly what you needed to be.
Yes. So if y'all have not watched it, y'all have to watch Nobody Wants This on Netflix.
And it's greenlit for a second season.
Second season, baby.
We love it.
It's just, it's so good.
Yeah.
So we're sharing a rec because we both loved it that much.
Absolutely. It's on Netflix. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
What is it? 9 episodes?
10.
10 episodes.
Yeah. 10.
Yeah, you're right.
I feel good about that. I could be wrong.
No, I think she's right. 10
I'm not
episodes.
going to look it up. I'm just going to have trust.
And I love a little limited series action.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I think that's all we have for you this week. So thanks everyone for watching and listening and commenting and leaving us reviews and buying the merch. Mm-hmm. It really means a lot and it helps us out.
And we will see y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.